All right, and I'm just talking to pretty much the masses out there. This is not a scripted video in regards to the haves and the have-nots or any kind of anime or movie franchise. This is just talking about Black Friday, just the idea of it. Now, this isn't meant to be a rant video of how Black Friday is ruining families across America because commercialism and money and just the idea of gimme, gimme and greed that is corrupting Thanksgiving. That's not really what I'm talking about here. This is just, maybe the title of this video will be something along the lines of, has Black Friday lost its luster? Now, I remember a few years ago, when I first went to Black Friday with if memory serves, it was with my mom and sister. I think my dad went, I don't remember, but I remember that was probably the first time in my life where I think I suffered some stages of almost like a panic attack. I remember running to the clothing aisle in Walmart to just catch my breath because I was overwhelmed by the amount of people just swarming around like bees. And I remember I never really told anybody that, and I remember watching Iron Man 3 for the first time when that little kid walked up to Tony at the restaurant. It's like, tell me how you got out of the wormhole. And he just rushed out of there and got to his suit, and Jarvis was saying that, you know what, you are suffering from a panic attack. And I just realized, oh snap, that's what I experienced in Walmart. I mean, I got over it. It was like a one-time thing, but I was just not prepared for the overwhelming situation of Black Friday. But as time went on, obviously I got better with it. I don't really deal with that anymore. Since I'm older, it's more like an annoyance, not a panic attack, but just the mere annoyance of that many people around when I'm just trying to get a couple of things. But I remember Black Friday used to be like an event. It's like, stores would open at like maybe 11 p.m. or 5 a.m. that morning, when the sales would be exclusively late night or early morning. And, you still had time for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving dinner would happen early that day, but then, that late that evening or that night or the next morning, you would get up early or whatever the case may be, 2 a.m. sales, and you would be in line at the store. That used to be like a huge event. I mean, it went from we're going just to get this and that to just going for just the fun of it. But luckily I'm from a small town, but it was still crowded because there were only a select few stores that had those kinds of events, like Walmart, Belk, just to name a couple. But, thankfully, to my knowledge, I never went to a Black Friday sale where there were the unfortunate events of people trampling each other and all. Like, that's inexcusable in the fights and whatnot. Like, seriously, people, it's just ridiculous to hear that kind of stuff happening, but that's what people do. But I was just wondering, like, this year really drove it home to me. Because over the past couple of years, I've been doing most of my shopping online versus going to the store. Like in 2017, my sister and we went to Walmart around 7:30 or 8 o'clock, basically about 90 minutes after the big sale started at 6, where the people come in for TVs, PlayStations, Xbox phones, basically the big ticket items that people line up for. My sister and we were just going to browse through the discount movies, video games. My mom got towels, washcloths, and I think she got like a printer, just basic stuff like that. And then this year I went myself because my sister was out somewhere, my folks, everybody was sleeping, and I'm like, this is a small town, so I better go now. So I went to Black Friday this year myself. I went to Walmart and GameStop. Not that big a crowd. I mean, I was more annoyed when I went to GameStop because of the line, but Walmart was literally a basic trip to Walmart. It wasn't a big crowd because, once again, it was after the big ticket items had already been sold. It was just annoying, the fact that a lot of the aisles were closed off for obvious reason because they had like boxes of stuff on sale, so I had to rethink my navigation. But the checkout, there were plenty of checkouts open. I was like the first one in the line I was in. It wasn't that bad. But I was just thinking back to the beginning of November, where it was pretty clear that sales were going on even during the first week of November. And the first week of November, the first, second, and third, that was like the last week of October. I was getting emails from various, like, clothing stores I might have bought something from, or GameStop. Like GameStop, I remember making like a $200 haul at the GameStop in town here just because clearance stuff was like 75% off, and I'm a Elite Pro member and stuff like that. So a lot of my shopping took place earlier this year. Not to mention a lot of other places like, hey, we're doing early Black Friday sales where the sales are going on all week. Here's a brochure. We're going to email you deals. Here's a paper. It felt like Black Friday and Cyber Monday has turned into like a cyber or black month, you know, where the sales have been going on all month long, as opposed to just being, you know, from Friday to Monday, you know, the Black Friday sales, the weekend sales, small business Saturday and Cyber Monday and whatnot. But it just feels like the luster is kind of gone, because really it's a matter of, you know, Black Friday being the event. But once you do take time to like go online and stuff, you realize most of the stuff people are breaking down doors for, you can get at the click of a button, or the things that are on sale will most likely still be on sale after Black Friday, or you can easily buy those same items early next year around tax season. So yeah, Black Friday has lost its luster to me in some ways, because I really don't have the patience, drive, or even the interest of standing in line for hours trying to get something that I could probably get at the click of a button online. But another thing to think about is the fact that budgeting, you know, like Black Friday, I remember I got paid on Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. I made a point to pay all my bills, you know, rent, car, Wi-Fi, to take care of all that. I bought groceries that way. When I returned to my apartment from being at home for Thanksgiving, everything was in order. And, you know, that was a good plan, because any money I spent on Black Friday, it's like, well, I already had that money set aside, and I'll try to make that money back, YouTube, eBay, whatever the case may be. But, you know, it's just crazy to think there are people who literally try to go broke unintentionally, allegedly trying to impress people over the holidays and whatnot, where I'm more of a person where I might have a couple things in mind that I want to get from a store, and if I happen to find a couple of cheaper things I didn't expect, then I'll just throw it in the basket. But yeah, Black Friday to me really doesn't have that same luster it used to. But then again, I've only been to maybe 3 or 4, so to speak, because I'm more of a person that strategically goes when I want to avoid huge crowds. But it seems like, I believe this year, I remember seeing a news report that more stores were changing their hours, so they'll actually be closed on Thanksgiving as opposed to being open for the sake of the holiday, which I don't mind, because, you know, it sucks employees got to work Thanksgiving for the Black Friday sales, unless it's like overtime or something and they have the choice to work. But, you know, I'm not saying that, well, all shopping is bad when it interferes with the holidays, all about family and all. I'm not really saying that. I mean, it's your choice, but at the same time, it's more like I would just be strategic about it, because more people, like literally, I just remember talking with some people last week. There are only a handful I know who actually physically went to stores for Black Friday shopping, because most people are like, I'm just going to wait till Cyber Monday, and I can't blame them for it. But just let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Not a rant video, but I just want to get your honest opinions. What are your thoughts on Black Friday? Is it the same as it used to be? Has it lost its luster? Do you just go for the thrill? Do you prefer to buy your stuff online? How do you work around Black Friday? So thanks so much for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I'll talk to you all soon.